Hello, my name is Will Lyons. My portion of our A4 deliverable is the database, adding the database implementation for our additional use cases. And if you see up here, I don't know if you want me to just talk over. So this is actually from our previous report, but it's the full database for all of our use cases that we'll need up to now. So there was additional things on here, so I wasn't able to get it to run at this exact moment, but that is everything on the database and it is up and running. So that was one portion. The other portion that I'm working on is the end-to-end connectivity for getting everything from MySQL to what are we working with? To Angular and JavaScript. That is something that we're all kind of working on together. That has been the most terrible part of this entire thing, at least for me, is not only are we learning new things, which as developers we need to do that often, but just understanding how to connect everything with in any context would be difficult. I feel like that's an area that hasn't been covered for me in any class so far at Georgia State. There are segmented areas where you learn databases, you learn web, you learn this, but nobody has actually showed us how to connect everything, or at least in my experience. So trying to teach ourselves that and also doing it in this new context with a new framework in our use cases has been challenging. So I'm also learning a lot from, hopefully I will be learning a lot from that once we get it up and running fully. So I would say that's been the worst part about this project for me so far on this deliverable. And learning about Spring Boot and Spring in general and how common it is in the industry for Java development is something I plan on using in the future. As I learn this system, this framework, I will definitely take that with me.
Hello, my name is Tiavion Jones. I'm the team coordinator for assignment 4. My responsibilities as the team coordinator was just to make sure that everybody knows their role and what we're doing for this assignment, and as well as I was also in charge of doing the front-end implementation for our app, and I don't know if you want to show. So I was working on the sign up and the sign in for the use cases for the app, and just putting together the front end. I used Angular, and I was just learning. I've never used Angular before. It's kind of similar to what I've previously used, but a little bit different. However, this is my first time using both Angular and Spring, so we're still trying to figure out how that even is connected. Because Angular, it seems like it's separate. When I run it, this is on a completely different port from the Spring Boot application, and I'm still kind of unsure how to connect it, but that's also what we're working on for this assignment, is learning how to connect our front end to our back end and using MySQL and so forth. So that's the most challenging thing, and it's also the best thing, of course, because with challenges comes growth and learning and experience. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Justin, and for this assignment, my task was to go back over the assignment 3 use cases, the assignment 3 use cases, and to implement their classes. And for assignment 4, I'm looking over the next 2 use cases as we're doing incremental development, and we're developing the classes for them. I would say the biggest challenge right now is trying to figure out connecting our back end to our front end right now, connecting our databases. It's nice to use a new technology, especially a technology that's going to be, I wouldn't say mainstream, but major in our field for the next 5-10 years. But it's also challenging learning it and trying to use it to implement. So I'd say that's the worst thing about this, and the short time frame that we had to implement all this. A week's time to implement 2-4 classes, update classes is challenging with everything going on. I will say I'll take this with me in the future, that being able to learn Spring Boot, learn how to connect a database, connect the back end to the front end is stuff that will always be necessary in this field. And yeah.
Can you?
Hi, my name is Kimberly Sizz, and for this part of the project, I'm responsible for the YouTube video, as always, and implementing the use cases. Worst part about this was, trying to connect the back end to the front end, and then dealing with life when it throws curveballs at you and picking yourself up and just keep going. Of course, that will always apply to whatever field I'm in, so I'll take that moving forward.
Hi, my name is Alejandro Herbner, and for assignment A4, I was tasked with the system modeling, and I will be later helping with the testing. And so for this task, I used Microsoft Visio to make some sequence diagrams to help us gain a better lower level understanding of our system. And so this will help me in the future whenever I have to work on a software system in which I need to model out a system like I did for this assignment, and just using Microsoft Visio for that. And I think the best part of this assignment for me was just being able to continue to develop my skills with modeling and using Microsoft Visio, because that is a skill that will be very helpful in the future.
So this is our application in Spring Boot, and as we continue to learn and add to this, we will get everything on here, but we have controllers set up that will hopefully help us connect everything, our application.properties file, so that we can configure our connection to the database with our IP and our port numbers, and just the actual main application program, and then I'll turn it over for the front end.
So for the Spring Boot, that's all for the back end. So here you can see there's a folder called front end, and this is an Angular application inside of our Spring Boot application. And is it already there? No. So in here you can see that we have some components here, and I just created a login sign up component. I didn't really need to separate it because Angular allows you to it's like a single page application, so you don't have to create all these different pages or multiple things. But yeah, this is just the the HTML for the page. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, and then do you have? Well, yeah, we showed you this previously, but yeah, so here this is all one component where you can sign in, sign up. Oh, it's backwards. Okay. And so as of right now, there is no functionality for it because we are still trying to figure out how to get this front end connected to this back end. So stay tuned.
Yeah.